Hey guys, this is Rainwolf, and we're back with Yashahime, episode 9. And excuse the fan in the background, that is one of my laptop fans dying.
Hey guys, Kieran Silverheart here. Happy to be talking about Mifuku, the Myoju.
And this is Asuna Silverheart, and I'm back as well.
Wait, is it working? Yep, this is Lyria.
Did we lose Wolf?
Are you gonna start with our little summary?
Oh well, usually you do like a little say something, but yeah, sure, I'll jump right into it. So, like I said, tonight's episode is Mifuku, the Myoju. So, beginning with an assault on a local fortress, we meet Kontan, one of the four Perils, who wipes out the place with barely any effort. Back in town, Maroha and the twins meet with Gyubi, the corpse dealer, and Maroha takes a bounty for the fortress attack because it's believed a demon was the culprit. Toa and Setsuna decline to go until Toa discovers that in order to put a bounty through Gyubi on the dreamed butterfly, she'll need a large sum of money, which just so happens to be the amount of the bounty that Maroha just took. The girls catch up to Maroha and find a strange child demon hiding in a nearby bush. When the child runs away in fear, the girls encounter Kontan, who reveals himself as one of the four Perils and attacks the trio with his elemental lions of wind and thunder. The girls escape with the help of Mifuku, who reveals that his father was slain by Kontan 10 years ago, and he's been wanting revenge on him. But he was too tiny and young to confront him himself, especially with Kontan having made armor from his dead father's impenetrable shell. Kontan and his beasts catch up to the group, and Mifuku becomes an armor plate for Toa. The girls battle the demon, and with the help of some demon energy transference and Mifuku's own attack, remove the armor from Kontan. Kontan escapes, and the girls go with Mifuku to return the shell to the father's corpse. Kontan vows he will not let things end this way as he meditates in an undisclosed cave, as credits roll to a preview for next week.
So come to find out, he's actually not a peril, or he's not like our demon of the week. He ends up being a peril.
Their demon of the week? I guess in a way it was, because it wasn't a real, fully resolved
Fight.
four Perils conflict.
True.
So,
But, I mean, in the same essence, it did set us up for a more epic battle with him later.
oh, most
It definitely gave us some insight into it
And we come to find out, he doesn't have a pearl on him either.
that we saw. But, I mean, I'm sure he would have used it if he had it.
Yeah, because with how it would have been on his last-ditch effort with how south the fight went.
That's a good point. So I'm guessing that
He's the one that doesn't have the pearl.
Yeah.
He's one of the ones, yeah.
So now we're jumping into it. Morhan's is like, oh, one of these monkeys at the corpse dealer.
I thought that was hilarious. That was a funny little reference when they were talking about the commander who had his fortress assaulted.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, what, just some monkey? It's like, no, not that, no.
So to slay this demon is 1,000 mons. Then we have Raccoon Boy coming back up, and I don't know, his slyness or his creepiness is really kind of rubbed away a bit.
He's not as I guess there's the air of mystery is not quite there where we're like, who is this shady little shit? I guess since we saw the dreams the last time and stuff, he's not quite as skeezy, you know.
A bit skeezy, but we at least know that he's good. He's
Yeah.
a good skeezy.
He's a good skeezy. He kind of had he was really kind of a victim of circumstance.
Yeah,
You know.
Takachio in this episode was more of a comedic bit
Yeah.
than anything revealing, as he usually
Gen
is.
6
so.
Pokemon vibes still. He's still, yeah.
Gen 6 Pokemon vibe. I did like. I think this showed like a really important bit of Maroha, though. I felt like it showed a bit of importance when she asked them, "Hey, let's go do this," and they're just like, we're not doing the same thing you're doing, and we just don't. We're not. No." And she's very offended. It hurt her feelings. She was very mopey about it.
Wouldn't you be hurt too with all they've been through?
Yeah, but still, it was like she should have known. They have their own thing they're working on right now too. So
Yeah, I mean, it shows that there is a little bit more of an innocence to Maroha than we've seen so far.
yes, definitely. I think that definitely revealed a little bit more. I liked it. I thought it was great. I enjoyed the bit when they were leaving quite a bit when she was like flinging
Your mother was a human.
Yours was too.
And so was your grandmother.
Yeah, that's pretty much. That's what I mean. They're like, yours was too? Like,
You're more human than the two of us. And then as they're flying away, and she, as said earlier, they were trying to find out more information about the dream butterfly from the corpse dealer. And then he brings up, it's like, oh, if you put a bounty up, there might be more people that will give more information. It's like, oh, to put that type of bounty, how much do I need? Oh, 1,000 mon. And they're
Yeah,
like, is there
which-
any missions that are available with that currency? I was like, oh, the only one that comes to mind is the one I just gave to Moha.
Yeah, that was ridiculously convenient. I was
A
like,
year's supply of rice.
a
Years,
year's
yes.
supply of rice is exactly what she said.
And when she was ranting on the back of whatever his name is,
Takachio.
Takachio, it's like that was me. That's what I do.
Aw.
That's
The pouting.
Aw.
well, they don't want it. Blah, 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 blah.
Well, and I
We're-
can see that because with her growing up by herself as she has with no
Oh,
friends.
she was really sad. Yeah, she was
She's-
like, Dad
she's
thought
like, well,
I
I
finally
don't
had
need-
friends and we were cousins. And I was like, oh my
I don't
God.
need them.
And
I'm
now,
like,
well, I find it even more funny that she owns it now that she knows that she's cousins with it.
I know. It was like,
sad.
it was
like-
kind of sweet. Yeah.
It's like, oh my gosh, that's what I do. That's how I act. I
You
feel
under-
you, girl.
You understand me, bro.
You understand me, Moroha.
It was pretty great. Didn't they say when they were when she was talking about the year supply of rice when they were back at the Demon Hunters? What did they say? They said something. Did they
that she could eat that on her own.
Oh, on her own. That's what I thought.
They're not wrong.
I was thinking too. I was like, yeah, she'd put that out. She there would be no problems there. I could see it.
They're running.
my girl.
And then as the whole ending of her little pouting moment, you see Toa and Setsuna on the bicycle shouting, it's like, we'll go with you. And then the smile comes across Muraha's face and it's like, Takashio, speed up, let's go.
He even calls her out. He's like, "Are we just gonna leave him? Like, what's going on here?"
He gets completely burnt out. Toa's burnt out from chasing after him.
This was just a great little bit going on here.
And then
And then I love
Maroha
it.
blames it on him. Like she's
Steps
just like,
on
Yes.
him.
He's
Just
like,
shut him
no,
up.
I didn't. She's like, shut up.
And then after all that, it's like, all right, we reconsider. It's like you're a reliable friend. Setsuna's lying out of her ass.
Setsuna does lie out of her ass all the time, though. It's
But
great.
the part I find almost character breaking in this scene is Toa herself has been just like the pinnacle of honesty and everything throughout all these situations of like, don't want to really lie, don't want to have to kill somebody, all this other but totally just shuts up and lets
Setsuna take care of this
Setsuna
one.
go on with it.
Well,
She's
yeah,
like,
because she already knows that there would be no signs of the truth.
Yeah, just totally accepts it and goes with it. It's like, yeah, sure, that's why we're here.
So they transition over. They're going up the steps, and then they run into the little demon kid.
Mefuku.
Yeah, the little turtle demon.
So then he runs away as soon as and then they just say, leave him be. He's just a kid. The real thing is over there. So they continue up the stairs, and the statues are already figured out. Oh, those are probably the dogs.
Yeah, once they actually do a little zoom in on those two dog statues, which we did not see when the fortress was first attacked in the opening.
Yep.
I'm automatically knowing, okay, they've got a distinct symbol on each of them. They're massive. That's the elemental dogs that we saw at the beginning.
And you don't see them floating around either, because you would think they'd just be sitting on top of the little thing he's in, or on the near the steps.
Mm-hmm.
Then he asks the girls to perform a dance for me and perhaps reward you.
One of the great chauvinistic moments.
Oh yeah, he thinks he's all powerful. He doesn't.
Yeah, he thinks they're little girls. Yeah, he has this weird this weird thing about him where he's like, that's so uncouth, how dare you not do this for me? How dare you say there's a bounty on my head? How dare
Distasteful and disrespectful are his main things.
like his
Mhm.
catch line.
And as I
was
said
like, okay,
earlier,
Hannibal Lecter, calm down. Like,
and the one that would not have a pearl would be the one that's cocky, and this dude fits it.
That is
mhm.
true. Although I am starting to notice a theme with some of these characters. They have a thing about distastefulness. We've seen it in Riku. We've seen it with Kanten. We've seen it, I think, with a couple other characters. It's it kind of goes against their sensibilities of how things should be.
Yeah.
It just kind of shows an arrogance on their part, I guess, to me.
Then the little demon kid pops up again, and he shouts out, "Watch out!" One of the two dogs charge him from behind, and then he pops up saying, "Half demons, I will not go easy on you." So, and that fight is actually being a bit challenging to them.
Yeah, this is when they start to realize, he's a little stronger than we thought, and apparently we're not going to get through his defensive line, so
The
what the hell
thing
we gonna do?
is, if he didn't have that shell, Moroha would have taken him out.
I don't think she would have
Well,
taken him
it
out.
would have
I
still
think
been
she,
it would
I
have still
think
been a
it would have
fight.
been a decent hit.
Yeah, it would have. We would at least. There would at least have been a solid fight between the two, and then in the end, Moroha would win.
Well,
True.
yeah, but it is. I am curious, because we really didn't see the full gist of his powers. I don't think either.
No,
But,
because if they kept him alive for another episode, obviously he has more than what we're
Mhm.
seeing now.
And he does strike me, like you said, he is arrogant. So, and I thought it was strange he ran away from them.
Yep.
So he is afraid of them to a degree. He is concerned these little girls, as he put it, are going to take him out.
Because they were able to take out his dogs, and then once they took his armor away, they actually didn't do really the damage to him. It was what we'll find out
Mifuku.
later. And then he goes and just like, don't put me in the same league as this country's demons. So obviously, you already know he's from elsewhere.
Yeah, mainland. Yep.
Then Mfufu, or whatever the little, I still can't get his name. And this is
Meifuku.
probably the only time we're going to see him
Meifuku.
for a while, if we ever see him
Meifuku.
again. He takes them, they go over to where the little lake or pond where his dad's corpse is at. They're talking for a little bit. He explains what's going on to them, why they couldn't defeat him, because it's actually the armor is made from his father's shell. And then Toa's telling Moroha not to be rude because he's the one that saved them.
They had that moment where Maroha was trying to pry the shell off of him.
Yes.
And she was like, "Give me that." And he's like, "It's attached to me."
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's not something I can just take off.
This
Nope.
isn't how any of this works.
And then it's like, okay, just be my shield then. Then he attaches to Toa.
That was great.
There's
That
a lot of
I laughed. I actually audibly laughed when he went for Toa instead of Maroha. And he was just like, I'll just be your armor.
Then I normally can get his name right, and I can't pronounce it right. Grandpa Flea shows up.
Grandpa Flea had perfect timing too.
He's
He
like, oh yeah,
always
he
does.
extracted the demon energy from the shell. That's why you can't do anything to it. Even without the demon energy, it's still sturdy.
Thank you, Grandpa Exposition. You have an answer for everything.
Yes, very much so. Where's the answer we want about everyone else that we loved and cared about?
Yes.
We all think they're dead now.
I
And-
do like. Yeah, I mean, it's not that I don't love and care about the other characters. Just you want to know about.
I want to know about the adult.
I want a
there's
flat answer. Are they dead or alive? But right
What?
now, it's straight up
It's
thinking
gonna-
dead.
It's going to be
Yes.
a long time before we find out. I think.
Yes.
Especially like with Songo. Like he's
Us-
wandering and
Yeah.
Yeah, with him just wandering, it
that
does
gives
leave
me
a.
bad feels.
The two dogs show up, and it's like, oh, it's only the dogs. Then the little talisman or seal or whatever it is,
It was.
Yeah,
It's
The paper seal.
the paper seal. Yeah, that's pretty common actually.
pretty much teleports him to them. And he's like, after all this time, you still dare to bare your fangs at me to the little one. Then Moroha pushes on. And it's like, oh yeah, he's gonna defeat you. We got this.
Maroha is so...
Maroha.
Yeah, Maroha is so Maroha. I love the fact that she's just, doesn't give an F, in like 90% of these situations. She just doesn't care. Like, she will sit there and she will literally egg on and rally an opponent.
It's sad to say that's kind of a personality she got from both her parents.
Well.
Because
Yeah, Inuyasha maybe slightly more than Kagome, but like they both had it in
Kagome
them.
would egg them
She
on
would,
too.
yeah, she would if she was like, yeah, we're gonna. If she knew they could beat him, she was all about it. But Inuyasha, even if he wasn't sure he could beat him, he still was like, yeah,
Gonna
I think I can. It's kind of one of those things. But
Which, I mean, granted, this is a trait we've seen in other anime characters before. It's where you use that cockiness and sureheadedness to throw your opponent off their game. But
and that poor little turtle guy's just like, I don't know about this. I'm
And
not
this
sure.
time, Setsuna was actually able to pretty much one strike the red dog. Then she goes after the demon, and then he sends a slash at her. She pulls the dagger that's at her waist to block it, but it's still too much for her.
yeah,
Because
I
you
mean,
can still
she's
see her
using
squinting.
she's using every bit of her strength and energy to neutralize that incoming impact.
Yep. Moroha's about to activate her Rouge, and then she gets smacked by his divine speed or blade, whatever you want to call it.
Divine speed.
And then he goes after Toa, hits the shell, doesn't go through, and then they go a little sword to sword fighting. she nails the armor, and it was like, there's no demon energy. And then this is where Toa actually finds out there's no demon energy for her to absorb to go through
Yeah.
the shell.
So Grandpa was right.
Mm-hmm.
He did extract Mifuku's father's demon energy and then just use the actual physical shell.
Yep. Then and then with this knowledge, she goes and is like, all right, let me insert some of my demon energy.
Which this was such a great idea.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Great idea. And I will even give it the gimme of she just came up with that out of the blue.
Yeah, because you don't know what the side effect is, but also with a demon with that powerful, and then with obviously there's going to be a bunch of resentment because of how he was killed, what was done to his body.
But it's also interesting that it shows that there is a lingering attachment.
Yeah.
Just because it was severed from the main body and the demon was killed, there's still that lingering essence there as part of it. So infusing her energy into the shell actually brought back enough of Mifuku's father's actual power to actually kind of turn the tide of the battle.
Because as the two are talking, he tries to activate an explosion seal. Moroha shoots it out of his hand to prevent it from happening. Then the father, pretty much as a spirit, pretty much keeps him still. Moroha charges in, knocks the armor off. And
I immediately had flashbacks to early Dragon Ball Z. I'm thinking like the Goku Raditz Piccolo moment.
Oh yes,
I'm like, oh, this is not going to end well. But then I also think about it. It's like, well, he wants to be put to rest. The father spirit wants to be put to rest.
Yeah,
he's like he's done his time. It's his son's turn to settle things. And
then after all that, you get Cyclone Burst and Crimson Dragon Wave to the face.
Yes. Flanked combo attack, beautiful,
and
great,
and it does enough to him that he runs away.
Yeah,
because he doesn't have the armor anymore, and with taking that much damage from the two of them.
If Toa had not used all of her energy, in the moments before that, game over.
Oh yeah,
that would have been game over right there. I am 90% sure.
Oh, very much so. Or even with that, actually, even with him, I think
guy helped too, though. Turtle guy did his own thing.
He removed the armor.
Oh yeah, no,
he had his little power thing.
I'm not.
Let the little guy have his moment.
Oh no, I'm not knocking Mifuku's contribution at all. It was because of his attack that the armor was removed.
Exactly.
But had Toa still had demon energy enough to play in one final assault, whether it was Azure Dragon Wave or whatever, I am 90% sure that Content would have went down right then and there.
I don't think it would have been the death. He would have been heavily injured, in my opinion, because even because you don't really see much of him, we don't really see how much damage was actually done to him before he ran away from the Crimson Dragon Wave and Cyclone Burst. But it's enough for him to run. One, because he doesn't have his protection anymore. Yeah, and it was also to down him.
Yeah, it was
Imagine if Moroha did any of her attacks in Beniyasha stage and the Cyclone Burst, and then also Toa. Okay, then that's a 100% game over.
Yeah. Which let's go back to the Beniyasha thing for just a second. After Content runs away, little Grandpa Flea over there, he was like, Hey, over here! You forgot something. I'm like, man, they would have been so boned if she had realized that she had dropped her compact when she got knocked and forgot about it.
Oh.
Because as soon as that compact left her hand and landed on the ground away from her, the way I saw the fight going was Content getting a hold of the Ruby Pearl.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
I totally saw that as a possibility, and I was just like, oh, this is going to be some
It's a possibility, but with the way he was reacting, and that he never brought up the pearls one bit, so he probably has no care for the pearls whatsoever.
Which is a possibility. He's probably sure enough in his own abilities and demon power, plus the spells that he uses.
Yep. So Demon Kid returns the shell to his father. Corpse starts to disappear because it's actually fully laid to rest. Then he's like, "I'll be praying for another 50 years." I'm like, really? Why so long?
He's got to wait for the shell to get bigger.
Oh, yeah, true. For him to grow so he can actually be of some use.
Actually, that was what was brought on. He actually brought it up because when she was trying to remove it, she's like, how much longer? And he's like, 50 more years. And she's like, that's a bull.
Yeah.
It's another 50 years. He has to wait for a shell to get bigger. Once he gets a big shell, he'll be a beast.
Yeah. Then it transitions over to the Peril again. He's in one of his spell circles doing something.
So-
one recovering, but
Yeah,
what
so-
else
Meditation.
is...
Yeah.
Yeah, so I saw this being one of two things. With the way he was porting in and out of places and stuff, I was almost wondering if this was a situation of him using like essence projection magic. So he wasn't actually physically in that fight,
That's a possibility.
which could also explain why we didn't see the full extent of his power,
Yeah.
or
That's
whether
possible,
he
yeah.
had the pearl. Or it was just a recovery circle.
Yeah.
Something to help him,
Recover faster so he can move on.
re-energize and boost his energy.
Yeah.
I could see it going either way.
So now we go into the preview if no one else has anything else to say for this episode.
I'd just like to say one thing, that this was it reminded me a lot of the first time we met Shippo in the original series. It gave
Yes.
me vibes of that.
The Shippo
Bringing up
vibe.
Shippo, there are some images I've seen lately, or art more than likely, that I've seen floating around of a grown-up Shippo, but he's carrying a katana.
Oh?
Oh, the Shippo
Oh.
with the katana.
That'd be interesting because, well, he was never really a fighter to begin with, but who knows if the situations that came about changed something in him.
Yeah,
That would be cool.
interesting.
Because because Shippo was very attached to Kagome and
Oh
everybody.
yeah. Oh yeah.
So I can imagine something like that. Definitely for a fox demon. Even though has there been any other fox demons in the series besides Shippo?
I don't think so, because we had
Mm,
the dog demons, and then Koga was a wolf demon.
yeah.
So no, I think Shippo was the only fox.
Yeah, because determining on the rate, or like the way, because obviously fox demons get stronger the longer they live in most lore, and also determining on how many tails they have determines their strength as well. So it'd be interesting to see Shippo going from the comedic relief to somebody.
Badass. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it would be awesome to see something like that as well, because definitely with what info we have right now, Kagome, Inuyasha, Sango, dead. From what we can really tell.
Well, I mean, yeah, if you're going off the info, I mean, you never get a confirmed death, though.
No.
You never get a confirmed death, but at least they're not here. We haven't seen them.
No.
Moroku is the only one we have seen wandering around, at least at some point.
Yep.
Ago that
In the
was.
last, yeah, we don't know how long ago that was. We do know that he's been seen since then,
Mm-hmm.
so it's up in the air where he could be or what he's doing. But we don't have any confirmation
No.
on any of them, so we don't know where they're at or if they're alive. But it would be interesting, and I'm sure we'll get some of these characters. I'm sure they'll
Yeah.
bring some of them in, and I'm sure some of them know what happened and some of them might not, or some of them may be operating under the assumption like we are that these people are dead, and they may
And
not
we
be.
really don't, because Shippo was always attached to Kagome, so he was always around Kagome a lot of the times.
Mhm.
So not seeing him in the one scene with when we,
The dream scene from last week.
Yeah, that was odd.
because we didn't see him there. So where is he at? Because I would have thought instead of Hachi taking Murha, it would have been Shippo.
Yeah.
Because
Oh.
Shippo transforms into this little pink balloon shaped thing.
That's the most accurate description
Mhm.
of that I've ever heard. Yes.
Well, also, was he tasked with taking care of someone else's children?
I don't see that because they're.
Because I mean, Moroku and Sango had children as well.
That's true.
And if you remember in the very first episode,
But they
it
have
actually-
Kiwala
yeah, true, but where's Kiala?
with
Out, yeah, traveling. So what
not-
if they needed
she's with
someone
with the demon
Yeah.
hunters.
So she's with the demon hunters. They still have daughters that are missing. So was he put in trust of watching the girls?
Yeah,
Like,
because because they would show up in the village with Lady Kaladay and them from, like, even if it wasn't just in passing in the village.
So I mean, that's a possibility too. I mean, he could have been entrusted because if you remember, those girls really did like him.
Oh yeah.
He wasn't super fond of them, but or at least he was slightly annoyed. But if he was asked to protect them because something did happen to their mother,
Yeah.
he would stay nearby to them. That might have been what's happened.
True.
And that might be why things happened the way they did.
So what you're saying to the unenlightened newbie, aka me, is once again we're 9 episodes deep and we still are left with more questions than we are answers.
Yes.
Yeah.
pretty much.
I love it. I'm down for it. Let's see episode 10.
Yeah.
I agree.
And
So,
it looked really interesting. Yeah.
it
let's do
does
this.
because now we have twin demon spirits.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. So
conjoined.
yeah,
Queen
this is
Demon
an interesting concept. So this kind of goes back into the idea for me of the what the hell was it called? The Ouroboros, I believe it is.
Mhm.
It's the dragon eating its own tail, or the snake
Yeah,
eating its
the
own
snake.
tail.
Oh,
the snake
yeah.
that eats its own
Yeah.
tail. Yeah.
Yeah, so you have these conjoined twin demons who have to literally battle each other until one of the other dies and is consumed by the
To become
winner
stronger.
to become a full-fledged demon.
The interesting concept. And then even in the preview, they take over Setsuna and Toa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two people with a
With the-
demon pearl in their body, and also the children of one of the most powerful demons.
Yeah, and they actually say something in the episode that they steal the rainbow pearls.
That's a possibility.
So I'm wondering, like, is it going to be one of those things of like they invade their body, they possess them for a little while, they make each other fight each other, and then when they eject from the body, they take the pearls with them or the power of the pearl with them.
They would have to take at that point. They would have to take the pearl with them.
Because then we see this completely new demon who I have no idea who the hell this is, who actually looks at them and says something about, I'm glad that you took those pearls. Now I can get revenge on Shishomaru.
And it looks like Setsuna taps into something. Oh no, that's with them still possessed. Never mind.
Yeah.
The flames.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is, I don't recognize this octopus.
Yeah, it's some kind of serpentine demon.
Yeah, some type of serpentine demon female, which Shishomaru has a history with angry women demons. I don't know what that's about.
Well, and most of his history with demon women, they love him. He doesn't love
I
them.
love them, and they get really mad about it.
So, track record of scorned females. Yeah, this guy hasn't had his testicles severed at some point and strung up for display, I'll never know.
They probably would have got ripped off, set up to display, and then he just recover them the next instant. Like, oh, they're back.
But yeah,
Because his healing factor is crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but yeah,
Not Wolverine crazy, but crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious of who she is, what her deal is, and what's going on with her as well.
I fully agree.
If she has something to do with what's going on in the tree, if she has something to do with what's going on with,
Because with these words, I don't think she's a peril with the way these words came about.
I mean, she could be, but yeah, no, it didn't seem like it. She's got a personal revenge plot.
Well, now that you bring that up about Perils, let's do a quick recap and count which Perils we've come across so far. So we've got Kanten, who we just met tonight. Then we've got the Bone Demon, who is dead. So that's
we're
one
2
down.
of 2 right now. And we only
then
know
Chiyuki, who was destroyed. So that's
Or
3.
we think.
So we know. Well, no, she's dead. There's no way.
I was gonna say I highly doubt that.
Right now, we're
no one ever's truly dead. No.
out of the 4 perils. We know 3 of the 4. Out of the 4, 2 are dead, 2 are still alive.
Yes, and we have one more peril we have yet to meet.
Yep. And if we have this whole situation where he actually ends up replacing the first peril because he was killed off so quickly.
I don't know. Unless you got one in training or in reserves, it's going to be real hard to replace him.
Never know because we don't know all of his underlings. If there was anyone already in the works, but he's like his power level's like right below time leaping or the time
that
frame
goes along
because
with my
the
time
type
skip
of demons.
theory.
Because obviously different types of demons have different lifespans.
Yeah.
You think he had a favorite at one point and he's just like, "Where's Jeff at?" And they're like, "He's dead," and he's sad about it. Like,
Probably.
oh man, I miss Jeff. Did you take over for Jeff?
Is that everything for this week?
much.
I think we've pretty well covered everything.
I think we're good. I think
Yeah, this is everything. This was it felt like it was a short episode. It was a good episode, and I felt
It
like
was
we got a lot
short,
of
but there was a
information.
lot that went on.
Short but sweet.
Yeah, it was very, very dense, very
Mhm.
compacted, but very
That's what we've had
action-packed.
over the past 2 weeks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good
So-
episode.
Yeah, very good episode.
And before we close out, if y'all catch last night's stream, me, Sarah Buttons, Grizzly Tyrant, And funny thing is, a buddy of ours that was just hanging out, and then right before we started the stream, he's like, "Hold on a second, I'm downloading the game. I'll join in with you guys." We were supposed to have Kyo Ultimate Facepalm join in with us, but he stepped. He had to go take care of some things, and then so the fourth spot ended up full. So this Wednesday, me, Sarah Buttons, Kyo Ultimate Facepalm, and then whoever fourth person may or may not be that might be in this room. I don't know.
Me?
Remember going?
Was it me?
No, it was talking
Oh, you're playing something else. Never mind.
Yeah, maybe Kirito depends on what it's looking like for him because that stream on Wednesday is starting at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll be back in God Eater 3 starting, and Kill Ultimate Facepalm will be starting his game then. So we'll have it from the beginning to end.
Woot woot.
And I am in the works of editing last night's. I'm going to see how that goes because we started at 6 o'clock. We looked at the time. It was almost 11. We're like, oh crap. So
and who knows? I may be able to throw
even
up a
if you
stream.
don't join in on time.
Well, no, I'm saying for tomorrow night.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
I may be able to throw up a stream if you guys want to check out twitch.tv/Kirito Silverheart, Sarah Button, Kyo Ultimate Facepalm, myself, Asuna here,
Me, I'm gonna do it. Yeah.
and a undetermined fifth member will be playing
In an
Dead by Daylight.
undisclosed location.
Ooh.
Yeah, we'll be playing Dead by Daylight tomorrow night. So if you guys want to come check that out, I should be able to get that one up and going for
And I
us.
will be screaming and dying a lot. So be wonderful. Good times.
As a matter of fact, you can probably just go ahead and catch us out on Convention Video's Twitch page. I think Wolf here could be able to host my channel for us.
I will. So remember to leave a like, comment, subscribe, follow us here on Twitch. We are at 14 out of 50 for affiliate. We're trying to go towards that goal. Keep showing us that support over on YouTube. It helps us a lot. We are really trying to, even with this pandemic, we are looking towards when this all is over to give you more footage from conventions, to live stream events if possible, so that anyone that can't make it out, because everybody's going to be in some type of situation, money-wise, may be good or bad by the time cons do start back up. So you can still see those shows, events. I'm Rainwolf.
I'm Kirito Silverheart.
I'm Asuna Silverheart.
And this is Lyria.
And see you, maybe, or, well, see you Wednesday night.
I'll see you guys tomorrow.
And we'll see you like next week.